Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War. Louis Herbert Abrams, Joseph Alessi, Francisco Alvarez, Carl Ray Barnhart, David Morris Barrett, Michael Dean Bell, Johnny William Benton, Melvin Edward Bevier, Michael Dell Birdwell, Terry Lee Blythe, Paul Eugene Bonnet, Boris Franz Borenstein, Johnny William Bowington, Kenneth John Britt, John Elmer Bricks, James Frederick Brown, Thomas Edward Brown, Matthew M. Canfield Jr., Nathaniel Earl Carter III, Gary Michael Chapman, Richard Kenneth Chilton, Edward James Cormier, Michael Peter Cusick, Raymond Kyle Dismukes, John Milton Eckstadt, Wilbert Allen Ellison, Lawrence Ellsworth, Dennis Rex Estes, John Francis Fitzgibbon, San Dwayne Francisco, Dale Lee Funk, Glenn Virgil Gardner, John William George, John A. Gibson, Arthur Melvin Gordon, Everett Gore Jr., Jesse Guerrero, Benny Glenn Hack, Robert E. Hackett, David Terrence Hake, Teddy Leon Hamill, Charles Raymond Hamilton, Arthur James Hensinger, Gary Patrick Hirschberger, Larry Glenn Hetzler, Robert Gentry Hodges, Robert Eugene Holdeman, Robert Edward Hoskins, Robert Kenneth Houle, Michael Norman Hughes, Kirk Christopher Hussman, Lester Key, James Edward King, Frederick Ben King, Walter Kopp Jr., Donald Morgan Krotzer, Lawrence David Cutchy, Paul Richard Lavazzoli, James Richard Lemon, John Christian Lurch Jr., Donald Gene Lewis, Freddie Lewis Lockhart, Ronald Joseph Lorline, Bruce Anthony Lynch, Robert Edward Marshall, Florentino Martinez Jr., Thomas Curtis Mays, Daniel Lee McKechnie, Raymond Bruce McKinney, Dewey Allen Midget, Robert Lucian Bilnarski, Joseph Castleman Morrison, Charlie Lemire Mount, Ralph Buddy Mulkey Jr., George Arthur Myers, Robert John Nadeau, John R. Naughton Jr., Dennis Eugene Naylor, Jose Torres Neto, Ellis Orton Jr., Wilton Pattier Jr., John Pattison Jr., Jack William Pomeroy, Thomas Dean Prose, Philip Allen Purvis, Lawrence James Putz Jr., Patrick Owen Quinn, Jerry Douglas Rawls, Evart Eugene Robeson, Lowell Ray Saunders, William Martin Severin, Roger Bernard Schaefer, Lawrence Edward Scott, William Henry Searfus, Michael Lee Simmons, Joseph Vincent Stack, Ernest Albert Stam, Earl Michael Stanford, Charles Gerald Stanley, Robert Bennett Swink, James Richard Thomas, Gary Gray Throckmorton, Richard Cobb Thum, Robert Andrew Van Patten, Norman James Van Dersky, Hector Villegas Villa, Marvin Aldred Volker Jr., Thomas Michael Whitfield, Claude Nathaniel Williams, Arthur Emerson Wright III, George Lamar Young, Jack Michael Zaitz.